I'm Joe Whittier. I'm the Master of Ceremonies. I had to do this because last year, Hector Diaz and I received the Pioneer Award, and now we have to work for it. So our honorees this year get away with that. They don't have to do nothing except get honored. So you don't have to do nothing next year, okay? We had to because someone had to pay for the awards. So that's why we're here. Thank you, all of you, for coming out for two great folks. People who opened up the doors for so many people. And we thank them. We thank them for what they've done, real pioneers. I have to tell you a story before I bring in a couple of people. Yo tuve el honor, y yo no sé quién más en este salón, who else in this room had the honor of sitting down and doing masa con Carmen Arroyo pa pasteles, mandarlo pa Albany, pa el Somos el Futuro. Yo me quité el chaquetón, la corbata, I rolled up my sleeves, and Carmen put me to work. So I know how to make pasteles now. Gracias, Carmen. Carmen also was a part of Pioneer Women. As a young cat in the South Bronx, I was able to learn from them how to dance, how to party, how to break down doors, how to fight for the rights of the people of the South Bronx. Carmen Arroyo, Carmen Allende, María Rivas. Todas las mujeres que cogieron the South Bronx Community Corporation. That was a powerhouse. You did not fool around with them. And they had this cute little kid, del sur del Bronx, ahí jangueando con ella. Y para donde quiera que iban estas mujeres, se llevaban a Joey Tiel. Come on, el nene lindo. But thank you, Carmen, because she taught me how to fight, how to break down doors. And at my old age, I think I'm still fighting and breaking down doors. And then my dear friend, Jose Rivera, okay, from fighting in the streets, recording everything. If you walk up in Old San Juan and a guy pulls up y dice, taxi, taxi, ¿para dónde quiere ir? And you turn around and you look in the car and there's Jose Rivera. We'll never forget that he was a taxista, that he fought for the rights for jobs. We've been friends ever since. And then we fought. At one point, he said to me, Joe, when Freddie Ferrer leaves, you should be borough president. And I said, no, you become borough president. And instead, he became the chairman of the Democratic Party, and I went to work. Some rich billionaire guy, I don't know, a friend of some of us, John Katzimatidis. I don't know who got the better end of that one, but anyway, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have known them. 20 years ago, take it back, 21 years ago, a guy named Nick Lugo decided to have lunch. And he called upon a guy named Steve Spinelli from Coca-Cola, Maria Roman from the 15 governors that she worked for as the Hispanic affairs person, and she's now running around in Washington, D.C., and me. We sat down and came up with a concept that Nick wanted to create a Hispanic chamber that represented the city of New York. And 20 years later, the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is strong, bigger than ever. Puerto Rico in November, the big dinner here in December, the different symposiums and workshops throughout the year, the scholarships of so many young people who've gotten money through the organization, and all of you. Then about a year and a half ago, Nick said, Joe, we're getting old. We gotta see if we honor some old people. And I don't know how he came up with Hector Diaz and Joithia, because we're young compared to Nick, so I don't know. Yo no entiendo eso, pero anyway, estamos aquí para adelante y siguiendo. Before I continue the program, and we're going to keep the music, Conjunto Ideal, ¿verdad? Se van a quedar un rato con nosotros para tocar música. Vamos a bailar y gritar y just have a great time. And food is going to be served, and a lot of people. But I had El Reverendo Juven Diaz who came by to give blessings, and boy, do we need blessings. As much blessings we can get these days. And I want to bring up someone I met so long ago, and I'm so proud of her, and I know she has to run her schedule, but I am proud because when we met years back, I told her, you have to run for office. You have to build an organization. You have to become somebody. And now I am so happy that Yudelka Tapia is an assembly member and a strong advocate for the community of the Bronx, the city of New York, and the state of New York. And she has a proclamation to present. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. I would love to stay here, continue with the music. The music is fantastic. But today, my chief of staff wanted to come because I have another thing to do. And I said, no, my dear, this is none of your business. This is a business that is mine. Because for me, it's an honor to have the opportunity after 33 years that I know that legend that is sitting in there and that I call my mother, because my mother never lived here. She lived in Puerto Rico and then went to the Dominican Republic. So the one that I call was Carmen. Carmen. She even had still one of my coats in one of her closets. That's how tight we were back in the day. Yes, it's there. I know. So, and then we talk about, when they told me about Jose Rivera. Jose, que lo conozco también, that I know too, since I came here 33 years ago. And it's just such a privilege, because this is something that I wanted to do for a long time. Because, if I talk about, I could say many things about Carmen Arroyo, because she's the legend. She was the first Latina ever elected to the assembly in the state of New York. And she was in office since 1994 to 2022. But before that, when she got here, she was the fighter. She was the first women developer in the Bronx, guys. She was the one who built 194, units of housing just for the seniors. She was the one who built, helped to build private houses so our community can feel that actually they belong and that this borough was put together believe it or not, I was born in the Dominican Republic, but this borough was built by the Puerto Ricans back in the days and continue being built by the Puerto Ricans here in the state of New York and the city of New York. And that's a fact. They might be moving to different places, but they still were the one who gave us the hand to us, and we took it, and we continue the fight. And I think, that I am eternally grateful to Carmen Arroyo. She was the one that, the second, that she loves art. She does gazillion things. She paints. She sits in the machine job. She's doing the gazillion things, and she did for me the second Dominican map. She did it for me, and that was like 20 years ago. That was the second map that she created. She did it for me, and she gave it to me in a Somos event. And I have it in my office, honoring Carmen Arroyo, the legendary Carmen Arroyo. I have it in my office, and everybody that take a picture in my office, take a picture of that map that you did for me. But the privilege that I have is that I'm going to be able to give you a proclamation that I would love for you to keep. And look what all the things that I wrote about you. Now I'm coming to, oh yeah, she's coming to bring you here. And I want really, really, really a big round of applause to Miss Carmen Arroyo, a legendary, a legacy person here in the whole, not only the Bronx, but in the whole state of New York. Her name was in the assembly as an assemblywoman because everybody that was around Carmen Arroyo at that time, and still has to respect, and everybody was scared that she could come and hate you in the thing. But I have to say that her name is gonna be there as an honoree that I recognize in the State Assembly of New York.
I think que lo que está pasando aquí esta tarde es un poco doloroso, porque esta nena que está aquí se iba conmigo y me decían, y tú estás ayudando a una dominicana, y el carajo te importa a ti lo que yo hago. Y aquí está la dominicana, con honor y con orgullo. Dios te bendiga y te acompañe. Gracias a todos.
Te quiero, Carmen. Siempre te tengo presente cada vez que estoy tomando decisiones. But then I have Jose Rivera, that he belongs, when he came here, he grew up in the streets of the Bronx. Rivera rose as grassroots activist and union organizer since he came to this country. Fighting for jobs, better housing, minority participation in the rebuilding of Lincoln Hospital, and dignity for working families. That's what he fought for since he got here. Fearless and relentless, he organized construction workers and gypsy taxi cars because, he was a taxi driver. creating pathway to jobs for Black and Latino communities, I know, and pushing for parity where diversity and equity were once absent. Rivera became part of a powerful movement for justice and representation. Yet, even within the movement, he stood out as a pioneer. Jose became a leading champion in the fight to end the U.S. Navy's bombing on Vieques, Puerto Rico. He was arrested alongside Reverend Al Sharpton and others for civil disobedience, a struggle that culminated in the Navy's withdrawal in 2003. That deserves a big round of applause, guys. In 1991, he passed the first ever council resolution calling on President George Bush to free Puerto Rican political prisoners. He chaired the Black and Puerto Rican caucus and was instrumental in every single advancement that the Latino community had in the whole state of New York and in Puerto Rico. He has a recognition of a lifetime dedicated to resilience, service, and justice. Jose's life proves that resilience, courage, and community commitment can move mountains. His legacy is both an inspiration and a call to action, to fight, to serve, and to never stop telling our story. I went to Chicago with Jose. I went to Washington, D.C. with Jose, fighting. I have never stopped fighting, guys. I went everywhere that we needed to be with Jose. And today, for me, it's the privilege of my life that I can give and put him a proclamation for me that it took years for me to be able to do this. But I mean, Jose was an elected official for 42 years, guys. He was around. He was the one who was actually putting the issues in the table. So, Jose, I love you. I respect you. You are in my heart forever. And I want to give you this proclamation so you can have it in your.
Muchas gracias, Yudelka, por traerme aquí en esta tarde a una gran celebración junto con una persona que fue, todavía es una pionera. Se han mencionado muchos nombres. Quiero decir que Evelina Antonetti trabajó de cerca con Carmen Arroyo, luchando. Evelina Antonetti, a pioneer and an educator, way before what you see today. These two ladies struggled for the rights for our children to have a decent school and education. I'm honored to be here with Carmen Arroyo y su familia. Me alegro que estar aquí. Yudelka, my sisters are here today. This is a picture of my mother when she first brought us to New York. We were homeless, living in a homeless shelter at 630 Jackson Avenue. And here I am today with Governor Arroyo, celebrating what we have become and what we have contributed to. But the struggle is not over. The struggle is not over. The first immigrant or migrant to have been deported from New York, United States, was deported to Puerto Rico. It was Nick Lugo's father. Nick Lugo's father. God bless him. But you can't mess around with Puerto Ricans, man. He came back to New York. He took him to the courts, and the courts had to back out because, not that I want, not that Carmen Arroyo want, but because the United States needed people to go kill for the good old USA in the army and the war, so they made Puerto Rico a Commonwealth, a part of the United States. It's a colony. Es una colonia. Yudelka, no, te doy la gracia a ti. I thank you, Yudelka, because when you heard of the struggle, I didn't call you to join us. I was surprised to find myself in Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Illinois in those days. Who do I see there? Yudelka Tapia with the flag from Lares, Puerto Rico. Oh, God bless you. From Lares, Puerto Rico. So today, we're being honored. And I tell you, I don't know why you're honoring me. We should be honoring Joey Thiel and the Lugos. It was Joey Thiel who early on, when he was in charge, Con Edison, I learned from him. If you have a job and you can make decisions, if you're elected official, invest in your community. He was the first one who brought Celia Cruz to the city of New York. He was the first one to bring Tito Puente to the city of New York. He was the first one to bring El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico to the city of New York. If you don't believe me, see my videos. You don't believe me? Join me in Facebook. Okay? It's all in Facebook. But today I'm also very honored and proud. Okay? To see my friend, a traveling person, Adam Clayton Powell. Okay? Yesterday, he was in La Perla, Puerto Rico. And here he is today. I come from La Perla. So aquel muchachito pobre de La Perla, that youngster from that was poor in La Perla with his mothers, came here and he became what you're about to hear, or you'll be hearing that I have become. But the struggle continues. You know, the struggle continues. And we cannot let up because what has happened in this country is not acceptable. Thank you very much for being here.
we're going to continue the program and have you eat at the same time. It's not rude, okay? It is not rude. And I want to let you know, que se me olvidó. I used to do mimeograph at United Bronx Parents with Evelina Antonetti, and she took us on the march to Washington, and I was a proud little young boy in the South Bronx doing mimeograph. I know none of you know what the hell mimeographing is, but you got the tinta in your fingers as you printed the flyers that we went out. The other thing is, I forgot to mention, Carmen Arroyo and all the ladies taught me how to curse. And if you wanted to go fight downtown at City Hall or for the Youth Corps program, the slots, you had to go down there and tell the commissioner, "Pa'l carajo se van todos ustedes porque vamos a recibir lo que nos debe aquí en el sur de Bronx. Trabajo para nuestra juventud." So I learned how to curse in Spanish. I do it every so often. And by the way, if you get out of hand, Nick and I felt that this was going to be a rowdy crowd, ruly crowd, and I am proud adopted daughter who is now a captain in the New York Police Department Executive Division. My dear friend, wherever she is, she was here a minute ago. Oh, she's taking a phone call. Okay. So I'll introduce her when she arrests us all for getting rowdy. I want to acknowledge, stand up because we're going to take a picture in a little while after the award presentations of elected officials who have gone through all of this. But Hector Diaz, I mentioned, who was our honoree last year. Hector, stand up. Let people know how you look. Still looking good, Hector. You heard Adam Clayton Powell's in the house. Adam, stand up para que te vean, que todavía está guapo. Joel Rivera, whoever he is, Joel was one of our elected officials. Naomi Rivera, también. ¿Dónde está? Naomi's back there. You heard from Assemblyman Jeff Dinowitz, and there's a guy in the room who comes from an important family in politics, and he was also elected assemblyman, and his dad was one of the great speakers that we knew of our time, and he's come all the way to be a part of Jose and Carmen. Mark Webrin. Mark, come here, Mark. He had to cross 14 rivers to get here, but he comes from a super great family of elected officials. Mark, I know you wanted to say something to Jose and Carmen.
Gracias. Buenas tardes, everybody. It's great to be here. As was said, I came from Queens. Adam's representing Manhattan. I'll represent Queens. But it was a pleasure for me to come, and I want to thank the Hispanic Chamber, Nick and Cindy and the staff for all they do in general for the business community and the Latino community. But it was a pleasure for me to come here. You know, people often throw around the term like pioneer. Oh, they were a pioneer. But in this case, we got two pioneers, people who have been leaders in this state for a very long time. And it's people like Carmen and Jose who not only led with their deeds, they led by their example and inspired a whole generation of Latino leaders in this state who have become more and more strong and active in so much what they do. So it really is great to see them and see so many former colleagues. I had the pleasure of serving with both of them and with members of their family as well, Joel and Naomi and Maria. It really is great to be here with them and to honor them and to celebrate them. And I am curious though, Jose, so what's the deal with the videos? Like, when do we get to see them? Like, who's in charge of archiving those hours and years of video. Like every time someone got up to speak on the floor, you turned to the right or left and it would be Jose filming you. What is that, Naomi? Is that right? They're doing it? Because I would be curious to see it, because you got the history of New York State on those videos, and we can't let them just be kept in your in basement or wherever you keep them, okay? I want to see it on TV. I mean, Luis Miranda got a video, I got a documentary, right? Siempre Luis. We need to get one with Jose's videos on them, I think. It's a good idea. Okay? Well, thank you very much. Gracias por venir, and good to see everybody.
Joe, when his father was the speaker, we got a lot of help for the boys of Bronx. But we continue to get help because his brother is still serving us in the New York State Assembly. So say hello to him. Okay? All right? Before I forget, you're all going to be hearing this and seeing Joe again because Michael Nabi from Bronxnet is here. Stand up, Michael Nabi. Bronxnet, watch Bronxnet TV. Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to acknowledge the chairperson in charge of Somos. It's gone through so many changes throughout the years, from Somos Perdido a Somos El Futuro. Carmen was in charge of that. It is now officially back to its original name, I think, of 14,000 years ago. Somos, Francisco Diaz, who is still running the show as the chairperson and was an assembly member from El Barrio. So Francisco, gracias, continue the great work. Later on, like I said, I'm going to ask all the officials, ex-officials, for a big picture here. Marco Nabi, you have to do a documentary on all of this and make all the pioneers, talk to them, put it all together. Let's go to the Sundance and to Europe and all over to show this documentary. We're putting you in charge. And I think Nick Lugo is on your board, if I'm still right with that information. So Nick could, Jose's coming. I'm getting my ass whipped today, boy. Let me tell you.
There's less interruption from me. I have to mention that we have another special guest, Maria Carmen Luciano from Egidio Pastry Shop. Stand up, Carmen. Maria, stand up, Maria. Go to Egidio and get your coffee. I'll pay. Thank you. And she found out, listen, I don't want nobody to get angry. She found out that I'm not totally Puerto Rican, but that my great-grandfather was born in Genoa, Italy, and then came to Puerto Rico. Thank you.
Oh my God, we're gonna continue. A guy just walked into the room who used to be the Bronx County chair of the Democratic Party, was also an assembly member with these wonderful folks, now runs a company, Miram, and well-known, well-respected, making a lot of money. Our dear friend Roberto Jamírez. Come here, Roberto. Come here. I'm going to embarrass you. We had a great time while he was the Bronx County leader. Roberto, come here. Go. Show how a billionaire looks like. From the days we met in my neighborhood over on Watson Avenue 100 years ago. He was starting a little club in Parkchester area, and he found out because he saw Con Ed car in front of the house and said, "Are you Joe Idia from Con Ed?" And the rest is history. He hit me up for money, and it hit me up for money all my life since that. But Roberto, you were a part of being the leadership and making things happen. Say hello to your buddies here. Come on. Come on.
Buenas tardes. I haven't done this in so long, I've forgotten how to speak. So I'm not going to, except to say there is something magical about the place that we come from. And there is something unusually gifted about the people who came before us. And I'm always mindful how rarely do we look back to put those who made it possible for us in the right place. And that's why I am here. Because yo tenía que decirles saludo a la asambleísta mía. Esa mujer me enseñó más a mí que lo que yo aprendí en los 40 años antes. Y a la persona who made it possible for me to get elected. I would not have been in elected office had it not been for José Rivera, la mamá de él, la esposa de él y la familia. So, yo estoy aquí para proveerle honor a los que se lo han ganado. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. And it is true. I saw Joe Itier, and that's when my political career took off. Thank you.
Thank you, Roberto. Thank you for joining us for this. I want to, Lori, I did mention you before, Captain Lori Perez. And I asked her, I invited her to be a part of us because I told Lori on the phone, vamos a tener un luncheon. It's going to be rowdy and crazy. So she has patrol cars waiting outside to take anybody. We ain't got no ICE people out there, but we sure got Lori and her police department waiting. So lo que se porta mal en este lonche, Lori's going to take care of it. Captain, thank you for being a part of us. Thank you for all you do with the NYPD in keeping us safe out there. I want to bring out, this guy used to sell airline tickets in a bathroom back in the days. If you remember, there was a Capital Air or some little airplane that his buddy John Catsimatidis owned, and his dad was the sole seller of these tickets. Before Spirit, there was these other little planes that flew us to the islands. And Nick Lugo's father, Cofresi Travel, was the way you traveled before Marine Tiger and the ships and all that. You would fly in these little propeller planes, and there was this young cat in the bathroom with the little tickets that you ripped off, and it had the carbon copy in it. And they would tell you at the airport, you want to ride on Capital, where you going? To Antigua, Puerto Rico, Santo Domingo, lo que sea. Sí, vete al baño. Y allí hay un títere que está vendiendo los tickets. Y ese títere se hizo famoso. He became famous because he did la Feria Hispana in the Armory on Madison Avenue when they didn't allow no Latinos or Puerto Ricans or any kind of Latinos then. And he created this big monstrous event. And then there was this woman who was fashionista, model. They created a modeling show as part of the festival. And Nick said, wow, I like that woman. And she said, put the ring on it and marry my ass, or else you ain't hanging out with no more me. And Millie Lugo just had her birthday this Sunday and still hanging out with that kid who sold tickets in the bathroom at the airport. Nick Lugo, we thank you for all you've done throughout the years. 116 Festival, the biggest festival in New York. Lori, that's correct, right? Police estimate. Biggest festival in New York. He then came up with this whole concept. 20 years later, was still hanging. He's been my brother, my friend. His dad had Cofresi. My mother, as you heard last year, those who were here, had a beauty parlor where I grew up doing permanent and hair coloring and all that stuff. But they were pioneers in the business world, and we figured that would make us a brotherhood. So Nick Lugo, come on up here. We thank you. We thank you for all you've done throughout the years. By the way, Nick was also the representative for the government of Puerto Rico for several years on 55th and 45th and Broadway on the second floor, right? You have the whole building there. See, I tell you, this guy. And now you go to Puerto Rico and he knows everybody. And he, by the way, if you haven't signed up to go to Puerto Rico in November, make sure, oh, there, raise your hand. Well, yeah. Okay. And then Nick is going to be outside taking your money for December for the big dinner here at Maestro's and for the scholarship. So anytime you talk to Nick, pull out money, okay? Because he's going to hit you up for money. Our president, our founder, our main man, Nick Lugo.
Well, thank you, Joe. Let me tell you, I'm becoming a little bit astonished over here because the program is not going exactly the way that we programmed it to. But I think it's turning out better than if we had done it the way it was supposed to be. But by the same token, I also want to say that Joe's been my friend for years, and we've been through a lot. We have been in politics whenever I needed to know something about something that I felt I was going to get into. Joe and I would discuss it, and then he would say to me, you better not. So there are things that he also said, yeah, let's get involved in the whole thing. The good things was always us two together. The bad thing was always me alone. And but Joe really did a wonderful presentation to Doña Carmen and also to Jose Rivera. Both of these people, they were my father's friends. I kind of was inherited by them because in those days, you worked all day, but at nighttime you used to get together and go to each other's offices and just discuss what is happening to the Hispanic population in the area where we were, which was mostly the South Bronx. So I really am very pleased that this Pioneer Awards has gotten to the point that we have such a wonderful group that we are honoring today. Doña Carmen, everybody has spoken about her wonderful pasteles. We have spoken about her ability to be able to govern, be a leader. I used to sit there with my father while they discussed politics, and I learned a lot from them. And the same thing with Jose. Jose did me a favor many years ago that I don't think he recalls, but he did bring me before the City Hall and gave me an award, and it stopped a squabble between myself and someone else. I'm not going to mention who, but if it wasn't for Jose, a great friendship that we used to have before with this other individual would have been buried and dead. Instead, he revived it for me, and I was very pleased. And I never really thanked him for it, but I always remember him kindly because he, with his camera taking photos and putting everything on reel of the Hispanic community as it has developed. I can't think of anyone who has done that. And I really, really thank him for preserving some of the great moments on those reels, which he has. And, you know, I guess the biggest thing right now is that we all want to see them. And I know he has them. And I know that his daughter is with HITN, who has been a great contributor tonight to this event. But Jose and Doña Carmen, these are pioneers, true pioneers. These are people who came from nowhere, and they came to help us be who we are today. And we are second generation, first generation, third generation. If it had not been for these two individuals, who knows where we would have gone? What road would we have traveled? But anyway, congratulations to Doña Carmen and also to Jose Rivera. Great pioneers, wonderful people, will be remembered for many, many, many years as some of the people that worked with all of my good friends. All right. You put is this for me? Okay.
No, that is not for you. That is for Doña Carmen Arroyo.
Oh, Doña Carmen.
Because we're going to give her her award now.
Oh, great. For those who don't know Cindy, Cindy is our executive director. She's the one that Doña Carmen says she's the one that does the work. But let me tell you, it's very difficult as a leader to be able to appoint people that will do your work satisfactorily, but in this case, excellent work. And so, yes, Doña Carmen, muy buena como trabaja sí, pero tú sabes que ella tiene el mapa ese que dicen que hiciste dos, pues ella tiene el primero en la oficina de nosotros. So, thank you. All right, Doña Carmen, if you don't mind coming up here. Hector, please come up, please. I know that Hector Diaz, he's one of the pioneers also, and I want him to be with us because he worked so closely with Doña Carmen.
Carmen, it's actually a privilege to be able to be here with you as we celebrate all the wonderful work that you have done in the Bronx. So today is your day, mamita.
La verdad que aquí se ha hablado bastante y gracias a Dios no se ha mencionado a ningún político que está corriendo para una posición, porque no nos interesa hoy. Yo no les voy a decir un discurso, porque yo creo que Dios me dio un privilegio que no muchos lo tienen, pero quiero dedicarle a todos los puertorriqueños que están aquí un poema que lo escribió José Gautier Benítez y yo le hice unos arreglos. Puerto Rico, patria mía, la de blancos almenares, la de los verdes palmares, la de la extensa bahía, En vano, patria sin calma, muy lejos de ti suspiro. Yo siempre te miro con los ojos de mi alma. En vano me trajo Dios a un suelo extraño y distante. En vano está el mar de Atlante interpuesto entre los dos. Con un cariño profundo yo en ti la mirada fijo para el amor de tus hijos borinquen. No hay distancias en el mundo y brotas a mi deseo como espléndido paraje ornada con el ropaje del amor con que te veo. Te miro así, placentera de las islas separada, como una barquilla anclada muy cerca de la ribera. El mar te guarda, te encierra en un círculo anchuroso, y es que el mar borinquen está celoso del cariño de la tierra. Y yo, patria, que te miro, yo que lejos de ti suspiro y que lejos de ti me muero, tengo celos del que mira tus alboradas serenas, del que pisa tus arenas, del que tu aliento respira. Tú diste bella vida a la anciana bella que inspiró mi frenesí, y a ella la quiero por ti, y a ti, borinquen, te quiero por ella. Ella, la perla brillante en tus entrañas formada, y tú, borinquen, la concha nacarada que guarda la perla amante. Ella, paloma que en la loma lanza su arrullo sentido, y tu Puerto Rico eres el nido donde habitó la paloma. Si yo te vi indiferente, si mi amor no te decía, borinquen, yo no sabía lo que es el llorar ausente. Pero hoy que te ven mis ojos de tu mar entre la bruma, como una ciudad de espumas formada por mis antojos, hoy que ya sé lo que vales, hija del sol y del viento, y que darse mi sangre siento con las brisas invernales, hoy viera en esta tierra americana el oro que el mundo encierra por un puñado de tierra, de mi tierra borincana. ¡Que viva Puerto Rico, libre y soberano! Gracias, Nick. Gracias. Me siento bien pequeñita hoy. Pero déjenme decirle algo más. Si a Puerto Rico le dieran libertad sin su bandera, yo me iría hasta el infinito y me robaría una estrella. Del fondo del mar de Atlante, un trozo de azul cogiera, y del sol dos blancos rayos con mis manos desprendiera. Después me iría a los campos florecidos de mi tierra, y de un flamboyán florido bellas flores escogiera, completaría con su rojo la más hermosa bandera que ondula en el universo o en el confín de la tierra. ¡Que viva mi patria! Este era el muchacho que nos acompañaba a las mujeres en el sur del Bronx. Él era un muchachito y era tan lindo, todavía es guapo.
No. Before our next presentation, and then they're whispering in my ears, but I got it together. I know what we're doing here. Like we had the police department, I have health people here. Richard Izquierdo, the CAB chair of Lincoln Hospital. Somehow related to Carmen Arroyo. Richard, we thank you for all the work you do in the South Bronx at Lincoln. And also, I have Dr. Soto, our medical director at Jacoby NCB. She's a dynamite Latina woman doing the medical stuff with the NCB Jacoby gang. We also have the vice chair, Luisa Hernandez, somewhere back there, of NCB Corporation out there. So we got health covered, police covered, filming covered. We're gonna have some great presentations with HTIN in a little while. And we're also gonna have from the state controller's office, someone who's gonna come up and make a presentation in a little while to both of our honorees. So I want to bring up from JP Morgan Chase, Andrea Giraldo, who's going to make the presentation to Jose Rivera. Let's give it up for Chase Bank. It's my bank, you know.
Well, actually, I feel like so much has been said so far. But after getting to know Mr. Jose, going over all his remarkable career, I can say that we're truly honored that you're being recognized today with the Pioneer Award. But without further ado, I think we'll just jump into the video that many were calling for earlier, and we can learn more about him. Take it away, Pedro.
Estamos en el hermoso pueblo de Corozal, conocido por su historia taína, su relieve montañoso y por ser apodado la capital del voleibol y los plataneros. Aquí nació y se crió Carmen Elsie Arroyo. Desde pequeña creció en un hogar donde la música, las artes y la política convergían en la conversación cotidiana. Arroyo fue la primera mujer puertorriqueña elegida para la Asamblea del Gran Estado de Nueva York y la primera mujer puertorriqueña elegida para cualquier asamblea estatal en los Estados Unidos.
podías registrarte para votar. Entonces yo fui y me registré. Y lo que no sabía leer y escribir, yo los enseñé a escribir para que firmaran. Y cuando tú vienes a ver, las madres porque están registradas para votar. ¿Qué es lo que te pasa?
We also had the same agendas as education, which was primary to comment. That gave us a mutual ground on which to work.
Organizamos el Southern Action Group y escribimos una propuesta para traer el colegio de Reunión María de los Ángeles. Conseguir vivienda para el sur de Bronx. Estuve 23 años yendo de la rectoral, porque fíjate, yo en la legislatura conseguí implementar los programas bilingües en todo el estado de Nueva York.
Yes, she's passionate, which is the passion that's been laced with belief, with truth in what she was fighting. Because that is common around.
Yo cogía cuanto curso daban, yo iba. Porque tenemos que tener confianza en nosotros. Lo que tú no sabes, tú lo puedes aprender. Tú sabes que así me aconsejaba mi abuela. Recuerdo la anciana aquella que en la esquina de un pañuelo las monedas escondía y aunque no sabía leer, las contaba y protegía. Ella me enseñó grandeza y el trabajo riguroso y me enseñó que en la vida el valor del ser humano es dar de lo que tiene sin que sepa la otra mano.
So sorry the technical challenges, but we'll see Jose's video. Thank you. Hi, everyone. So once again, please join me in welcoming Jose Rivera from La Perla to the Bronx. Nick Lugo.
Once again, thank you. Thank you once again, Joey dear, for bringing us together from 1 to 4 o'clock, because at 6 o'clock, I'm going to go to Willie's Steakhouse a bailar salsa como todos los miércoles. And I also want to thank you for bringing out of retirement, at least for 5 minutes, Roberto Ramirez, Glenda y Kathy Torres. Kathy Torres was the person that Roberto put in charge, put a woman, una mujer, in charge for the movement to mobilize people to support Vieques, Puerto Rico. You know what Kathy did? At the end, she went and she told Roberto Ramirez, you now gotta be in Vieques yourself, because today at 6 o'clock, there's gonna be a press conference. You and Reverend Al Sharpton, Adam Clayton Powell, and you're gonna go to jail. And he went to jail for 40 days for Vieques. So I thank you, Roberto Ramirez. I'm going to end it right here, I hope. I want to welcome, when we talk about history, I want to welcome Marta Moreno Vega y Melo de Capote, because they were the first women to call me and Felipe Luciano to go to a meeting, because these are women that wanted to raise money to open up a storefront community organization. I got up and I said, Felipe, I want to help you. Felipe looked at me and Marta Moreno Vega said, you look like a homeless guy. I didn't always dress this way. I didn't always dress. He said, you look like a homeless guy. You need help yourself. You can ask Marta Moreno Vega. And then I said, I pick up the phone, I call my office, the power of someone in government. Give me a Marta. This is Marta Moreno Vega. The power of people in government. Marta Moreno was able, after that meeting, during that meeting, I picked up the phone and I called my chief of staff, Diane Gamble. She's no longer with us, an African-American Cherokee Indian. And I said, I want to help Marta. I want to help Felipe. How much money you got? So she said to Marta, how much you need? So Marta said, how much you need? $1 million. I said, well, we're going to start with $250,000. Today, Marta has taken over a firehouse in El Barrio and is keeping us alive with our culture. Allí tienen a una dinámica mujer, Cruz, que le mete mano a cualquiera. Ella organiza actividad todas las semanas para defender los boricuas. So, having said all that, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Nick Lugo. And these are two of my sisters. Cheta, who lives in New Jersey, is retired. Her son went to Lehman College, graduated, went on a retreat to France, came from France with a girlfriend speaking French, then went back to college, became a lawyer, and he's now a lawyer for a judge of the state of New York. God bless him. And she, Santa, my younger sister, is retired. But here we are, the three of us together. And in remembering my mother, we say thank you to everyone. And I want to say, I'm going to end it right here. Luis Rio, his father opened up an office in the Bronx. And Luis Rio continues to work out of the Bronx. I'm doing very well. Thank you. Que Dios te lo pague porque yo no puedo. This is former Assemblywoman Naomi Rivera.
A couple of more things, and I'm going to wrap it up, and we're going to hear some music and dance and throw ourselves on the floor. I'm almost done. I want to say that I had the great pleasure of Jose invited me to el cementerio en La Perla to visit his mother's grave. Was a really meaningful event for me. Jose, Nick, whoa. Jose took me to the cemetery because he knew my mother and family came from Lares, Puerto Rico. So thank you, Jose, for those moments. I want to bring up from the New York State Comptroller's Office to present both our honorees citation, our dear friend Nancy Hernandez. So let's give it up for Nancy and the State Comptroller's Office. Make sure you check New York State Comptroller's Office because there could be money, there could be money in your name. And if you don't believe that, Nancy has been telling me that for years, and every year I punch my name in, and finally, Nancy, and I told the State Comptroller, I had money under my name for some account that I didn't even know existed. So make sure you check that out. Nancy, come on up.
Thank you. Buenas tardes. Thank you so much. Certainly before I say the few words, thank you, Nick Lugo, for Cindy, who've always invited our office to participate. Gracias, Joe Ethier, who I know for many, many years, and the board as well. Our state comptroller isn't here, but then he sends the next best thing, me. And I love any event that has to do with my people. So él lo sabe, so he sends me. And it's always with great joy to serve him in this capacity as his head of diversity in the agency. I do want to say he is so pro our community, and he knows how I feel about it. And through our efforts, we really have done a great improvement in hiring more Latinos and Native Americans than ever before. And I'm so proud, and many women. So I'm very proud of our efforts. He does speak highly of our community and keeps advocating for all our causes. I know he would have shared more stories, personal stories, of his experiences working with Carmen Arroyo and Jose Rivera. For me, it's been such an honor to know who they are as someone who follows their steps in the positions that I am. Because of Carmen's stands for women's rights, for family rights, for the elderly, okay? It speaks volumes for many of us who are pursuing positions in office or even in businesses, that we have a voice and we have to use it for our own being and for the next generation. Jose, thank you so much for being an advocate community for the working class, but most importantly, as my husband, excuse me, David Hernandez, who's always with me here, that we're proud of you for being an advocate for veterans. Thank you so much. Our son is serving in the armed forces, and he works in special forces, and he just passed getting his Green Beret. He's so proud of serving this country as a Latino and for the people he loves, nosotros. Thank you for being an advocate for them. And now we do have citations for you, Jose and Carmen, from the State Comptroller, once again, thanking you and acknowledging all you do for our community. Gracias.
Nancy's going to take over the citations to Carmen and to Jose, and we'll do some photos. After we're finished, we're going to ask all the elected officials, past, present, to come up and take a group photo for history. So please don't leave yet. I want to thank Jasmine, wherever you are. Jasmine, who was Chief of Staff to Jose Rivera and now is at Lehman College. Thank you, Jasmine, for helping us with Jose and all the things that you do. Jose got kicked out of Lehman Performing Arts Center years back for filming. It was against, and I got a phone call, and Jose said, I think I heard you're on the board of trustees at Lehman Center. They threw me out because I'm filming. Well, tough, because he got his chief of staff now working at Lehman College, and he got a doctorate the same year my grandson graduated. So take that, Lehman College. Don't throw Jose Rivera out of anywhere, because you'll pay the consequences for that. I want to thank Hilda, wherever you are. Hilda, who has been putting the lunch work together for weeks and has called me 150 times. And if you were not on the list when you checked in, it was Hilda's fault. I did submit the names, okay? And I know what I'm doing, Nick. I might be as old as you, but my mind is still there. I want to bring up the La Jefa. Nick and I just hang around, but La Jefa runs the show for how long, Nick? 100 years she's been attached to you? 120, Hector? Hector says 120. Our executive director, Cindy Estrada. Bravo. And like I said, Cindy will be outside taking your money if you want to go to Puerto Rico in November.
Good afternoon, everybody. I must start with thanking our honorees. I have known Jose for about 50 years. And Carmen Arroyo, I'm very proud to say that I worked with her, and I loved her, and I learned so much from her. I want to give the microphone for a minute to Eileen because she needs to tell you something very important.
Good afternoon, everybody. Buenas tardes a todos. Les quiero pedir, por favor, if you could look on your tables. You have a New York City event. Our next event is October 10th at Fordham University. Fordham University has been an amazing partner to the New York City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We offer, through Fordham University, a scholarship to Latinos in technology. Every year, it's a $100,000 scholarship. We've had 6 students go through the program thus far. Our intention here, city government, state government, and corporate folks in the room, our intention is once they graduate with a master's in cybersecurity from Fordham, a full ride to the scholarship, to engage with the first internship that city or state or private firms can offer students coming out from this program. So please join us. You can look up the QR code on the flyer on your table. Join us October 10th. We have the Chief Information Security Officer from the Depository Trust Corporation. We have the ex-CIO of Mellon Bank and several high-level executives within the IT field joining us to speak. Thank you.
I just want to say that Eileen is talking about a scholarship that we give out every year to a Hispanic or Latino student. It's worth over $100,000. And we've had 6 winners so far, okay? So keep that in mind. If you have any youngsters that are doing cybersecurity, please have them contact us. Now, I know everybody's waiting for the music, and I'm gonna make this real fast. We have to thank our sponsors: Coca-Cola Company, JP Morgan, Bronx Care Health System, HITN, Hispanic Information and Telecommunication Network, Ponce Bank, Jacobi Hospital, St. Barnabas Hospital, Lehman College, John Cassimatidis, the Red Apple Group, and as always, Bronxnet is here with us taping everything. Again, thank you for joining us, and I hand you Mr. Etienne.
Thank you. Let's hear it for the sponsors. Yeah. I'm wrapping up now. I'm going to ask our honorees to come up. I'm going to ask the elected officials, past, present, whoever is still in the room, to come on up. We want to do a photo for prosperity, for the future of them. I'm going to ask our founder, Nick Lugo, and Sydney and Nancy from the controller's office. One big picture, un retrato de toda la familia. And at this time, I want to say gracias for all of you who came out. Gracias for listening to us. And I'm going to ask the band to play some música y ahí terminamos este año. El año que viene, que Dios los bendiga a todos. Let's do our big photo. We have a cheer for you.